for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're hoping Cindy will come back. But what did you think of this race?
It was good. I mean, she went out just the way we wanted her to, and after 8, she chopped it down, and stayed in the safe zone, and very happy obviously with the time, and we went 15 strides, and so we didn't do anything harsh. Like I said earlier when they was interviewing me about the legendary type, our Olympic trials is the hardest thing to do, and I have to keep her healthy, get her to make the team first, and then after that, then we start worrying about times and efforts that it's going to take to defend our gold medal.
She was chopping a little bit there. Is it just she's so fast now?
Well, because we wasn't going to go 14 strides. We just wanted to go 15 strides, and we just wanted to keep it comfortable. I didn't want to, in horse racing terms, open her up yet. So I just kept a hold of the reins on her, and I just wanted a good, open, relaxed run, and so. We only used the left leg one time, I believe. I think she used it on 9, and so her alternating pattern is usually 14. But we just came here with just decided to take 15 and take it down to 16, and try to run. I wanted her to run a 52 something. She did, and so I'm satisfied.
What went into the decision for Sydney to focus on the 400 hurdles this year as opposed to?
Well, I mean, she's a 400-meter hurdler. I think everything comes around that. I mean, she's good at the 2, she's good at the 4, she's good at the short hurdles. But her main event is the 400-meter hurdles. If she's going to do something else, that's icing on the cake. Candles on the cake. So the 400-meter. I mean, the first thing I asked her, when the last time you ran the back end of 400-meter hurdles, she said, yeah, it's been a while, so, the first 5 or 6 is one thing, but when you get to hurdle number 7, have to start coming home, it's a whole different feeling. And so she got that feeling underneath her belt now, and then we have to do a couple of rounds of that in the trials. It's going to help her. And like I said, once again, get her healthy out of the trials, and then go from there.
What did she say to you when you just went up to her right after the race?
She just said, which she knew, but it was with all due respect, it was a practice run. I just wanted her to get back on the track, running the 400-meter hurdles, stay in the safe zone, and then we start going from there.
Does she run New York still?
Yes, I mean, as long as we're healthy, we're going to go New York, open 4, and then we'll go back home.
Talk about her mechanics. A lot of people, including Edwin, say she has remarkable mechanics and enables her to run almost like she runs.
Well, I mean, I think Edwin knows should know, because I had to chase him for about 100 times myself with Andre Phillips. So, and I think in the 400-meter hurdles, it's controlling your rhythm, controlling your stride pattern, and controlling your mechanics. And actually, this race probably might have been a little harder for her because I had to do 15 steps instead of 14 steps. And so she's kind of had to keep her feet underneath her because she's been sprinting a little bit more. And so I didn't really want to open her up too much yet because we haven't had that 2-3 weeks of training yet in the hurdles. She's been running 200s and 100-meter hurdles, so she's got more of a turnover stride. She's going to come back in New York and run a 400. So I kept her more in a 400-meter cadence than a 400-meter hurdle cadence. And so, but I knew mechanically that whenever she's going to switch, which I think, once again, I think she switched at 8 with her left leg, that she's, we've been drilling that. So mechanically, she stayed within herself. She stayed tall. She worked the mechanics for this type of race and this type of track and this type of speed.
So when you get to the first round at trials, though, is she doing 14 or is she doing a mix?
I have no idea.
What did you think of that 22:07 based on what's been going on in practice? Were you surprised, or did you expect it? Maybe you're a little faster.
No, I was happy with it. I thought that she, I know Sydney can sprint. She actually wanted to run 200s more last year, but I wanted her to really concentrate on the quarter first and then back down into the 200 meters. With the 400-meter hurdles, with the 100-meter hurdles, I know she's going to get turnover work. She has sprinters that she's working out with on her team. So I just think that I just want to cautiously get into the 200, and I just think that she, you know, it was our home track. She knew the track. She was able to, you know, come from home to the track in a home environment. So I think the elements was right for her, and it was a, you know, very good time. And can she go faster than the 200 meter? You know, God spare life, barring injury, yes. But you know, everything is wrapped around, excuse me, what we're going to do, you know, around the 400-meter hurdles. And because of that, once again, that's why she did 15 strides today, because she's been sprinting more. And until we be able to start our rhythm and our mechanics to start alternating over the next couple of weeks, I wanted to just keep her in a safe turnover sprint zone, which she handled very well today.
Did she do what her coach told her to do?
She executed what she needed to do.
But did she do what her coach told her to do?
She executed what she needed to do. If she didn't do what she needed to do, she'll know about that Monday.
I'm curious because, you know, you have like Kenny Harrison, Morlake, and then Sydney and Athing, right? And they all kind of race at different intervals. I'm curious how you make the decision about how often they run and the different places that they run throughout the season.
Well, I mean, first it's based on health, and you know, and then it's just based on, you know, performance in terms of what's needed. And you know, and then also just trying to, and I like, with all due respect to Europe, I mean, I like America. I like to race at home as much as possible. I get criticized for not going to Europe, but you know, I coach United States athletes to put them on, you know, teams. Europe, they can, you know, it's, you know, you can go to Italy, France, and you know, Germany or whatever, like the same thing like we can go to Atlanta, New York, or what there. So you got the, you know, you got the competition. But for us, it's, you know, it's a 14-hour, 7-hour, you know, time difference and language change and food changes. So it's kind of difficult for us to go to Europe, base camp over there, and then still come back home and make our American team and stay healthy. So as many races we can get like here at Morehouse.
May I have your attention, please? If anybody lost a set of keys
and keep
with
our
a
athletes,
Chevy and Nissan car
competitive
key on
here
it,
in the United States,
please meet us at the finish line to retrieve the keys. Thank you so much. If you lost a set of keys, meet us at the finish line to retrieve the keys.
I think it's better for our mental and physical health for our athletes.
Can I add? Okay.
Considering the Olympics is in Paris itself, I mean, did you either consider that she's going to race once or twice in Europe just to get acclimatized with that environment?
Before the Olympic Games?
Yes, before the Olympic
No,
Games.
we won't go to Europe at all. The first time we'll see Europe this year is when we go to Paris.
And then curious just about Athing, you know, we saw her had a little hamstring injury, it was reported, pulled out of LA. Curious what kind of her fitness is. And
she's back on the track. We had a good practice with her Thursday. She's training today in LA with my condition team. She's on a plane here Sunday. We'll be training here all week, and then you know, then we might do an all-comers meet before the Olympic trials, maybe, but if not, then you know, we got 3 rounds we got 3 rounds at the Olympic Games, at our Olympic trials, and so that's going to give her preparation to get into her rhythm, and once again to make the team, and then to go, you know, to go on to Paris from there.
So she stays on this track for a week?
I'm not sure where we're training, but we're going to be training here in Atlanta.
And what do you know what meet it might be that she'll run?
No, because there's usually some all-comers meeting in Occidental and Pomona and stuff like that. So I'll see, you know, in Arizona, you know, or I do some time trials with some of the training partners that you have in LA, you know, just to get her ready. But you know, the number one thing about it's hard to make. I mean, we need to keep emphasizing how hard it is to make our Olympic teams, and how, you know, how much demand it takes on our American athletes, and then with the Diamond League schedules, whatever, you know, that we have to travel across the Atlantic, travel across the Pacific or whatever, and then come back home, where the European athletes don't have to do that as much, you know. And so when it comes down to the Americans and the Jamaicans, I think it's a little tougher for us because of the travel schedule. For the Diamond League schedule. You see some of the American athletes, at the beginning of the year, we don't feel as sharp. You look at a couple of the Jamaican athletes; they're not as sharp right now. Where we have to find those moments to train and travel, or create once again some good competitions on American soil. So we had 4 good competitions so far. We did Mount Sat. Sydney ran a relay there. We were able to do Occidental, where she did the short hurdles and a good 200 there. Then we were able to do LA. Now here in Atlanta, we're going to be able to do New York. Then we're going to stay in Eugene, and then we'll probably do 2 more meets here. So what's wrong with that? And so we're here in America getting ready. I mean, imagine back in the day, and I was just watching the Boys in the Boat, in the Jesse Owens story. When I was coming over here, they had to take the Queen Mary's or whatever across the ocean. So we was training on ships. So you had to learn to train what your environment is in the United States. While the Europeans were already over there, the Italians, the Germans, the Swedes, they were already over there. We're coming from LA to New York, to getting on a boat, to going across the Atlantic, to getting off a boat, to getting into housing, and still trying to win medals for the United States. So, it may not be boats now, but, the planes are, get there a little faster, but we still got the same thing. We still have to pack our bags for weeks, where a lot of Europeans only have to pack their bags for, 1 or 2 days, and they can hop a train or drive, and they're back home.
Thank you so much.